Top 10 African countries with the most Chinese debt. China over the years has established itself as one of the world's economic superpowers and as such become one of the world's largest lenders to Africa, the world's poorest continent. While Chinese aid to Africa has helped some African countries in pursuing various forms of development, it has also left several African countries in debt. The matter has raised concerns about China's growing involvement in developing countries. Critics say it is a debt trap for poor nations who are desperate to industrialize. In this video, we present top 10 African countries with the most Chinese debt. If you're new here, welcome. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of our videos. Number 10. The Democratic Republic of Congo, estimated debt of $3.4 billion. Given its abundance of precious natural resources and minerals such as diamonds, gold, copper, timber, and oil, the DRC could easily be one of the world's richest countries. However, the looting of these resources together with unending conflict has set the country backward. The DRC owes China an estimated $3.4 billion in debt. It is important to note that trade between China and the DRC greatly increased between 2002 and 2008. This is largely due to massive growth in the DRC's exports of raw materials to China. As a result of trade links, the DRC entered into a $10 billion resource finance infrastructure agreement with China in 2007, where copper and cobalt mining licenses would be allocated to a Chinese consortium. However, when the DRC was flagged for having overhead to take on $10 billion in debt, the deal was renegotiated to $3 billion. According to Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi, China would write off loans to DRC worth an estimated $28 million to help the country overcome the impact of COVID-19 and further donated $17 million for development projects. Number 9. Ghana, estimated debt $3.5 billion. Ghana has an estimated debt of $3.5 billion to China. The West African country, which has a population of over 31 million people, has been one of the world's fastest growing economies in recent years, growing at a rate of 6 to 8%. For the records, China is currently Ghana's biggest trading partner with a total value of trading reaching a record of $7.46 billion in 2019. According to CNBC, China announced in November 2019 that it will invest $2 billion in Ghana's rail, road, and bridge networks in exchange for access to 5% of Ghana's bauxite reserves, a critical source of aluminium. However, some of the loans financed by China are also said to have bypassed parliamentary scrutiny, forcing the opposition to involve the IMF to help look into the country's debts. Number 8. Nigeria, estimated debt of $4.8 billion. Nigeria and China marked their golden jubilee of official relations in 2021, having established diplomatic ties since 1971. Nigerian President Buhari has at times had to deny that his country was too reliant on Chinese debt, but the public debate about the level of Nigeria's indebtedness to China, including claims that Abuja is risking its sovereignty, is one that is never too far from the limelight. Nigeria owes China an estimated $4.8 billion, with the ties between the two countries so deep that Nigeria has accepted the Chinese yuan as a reserve currency. The Zungeru Hydroelectric Power Project, 40 parboiled rice processing plants project, and the Nigerian 4 airport terminal expansion project are among the projects for which the loans obtained between 2010 and 2020 were used for. In the year 2020, however, the country spent $195 million on debt repayment to China. Number 7. Cameroon, estimated debt $5.5 billion. Diplomatic relations between China and Cameroon started since 1991. Since then, China has provided Cameroon with loans as well as debt relief. Cameroon owes China an estimated $5.5 billion, which was obtained through at least 45 loans related to projects like transportation, technology, and water, each of which is worth at least $1 billion. At least $333 million of the loans are tied to the Cameroonian military, which has played a key role in the country's current crisis involving the two Anglophone regions. However, as a result of a tighter financial condition that began in 2017, Cameroon has since not been able to repay its debt. During the visit of Yang Jiechi, the director of the Central Foreign Affairs Commission, to Yaoundé in July 2019, both countries reached an agreement to restructure debt payments. Cameroon's debt to China has however reduced by $78 billion. Number 6. Zambia, estimated debt of $6.5 billion. According to a research paper published by China Africa Research Institute, Zambia's outstanding external debt to Chinese financiers is approximately $6.5 billion, nearly double the $3.4 billion revealed by the previous Zambian government. The revelations come as Zambia's new president, Hakainde Hichilema, meets with major U.S. creditors, including the IMF and the World Bank, in the hopes of securing a new bailout. What makes matters worse is the fact that most loan deals signed stated that the repayment would be in the form of either cash or claiming of firms as collateral. The latter has occurred in recent years, with China gaining control of firms. China is also said to be acquiring ZESCO, the country's national power utility, as well as ZNBC, the country's national broadcaster. But Hichilema, who was elected president in August, has promised a new era of openness with creditors after a period of heavy borrowing under his predecessor Edgar Lungu. The answer to whether he will achieve his goal is still unknown. Only time will tell. Number 5. Sudan. Estimated debt $6.5 billion. While the government in Khartoum was busy fighting US sanctions against the country for suspected links to terrorists such as Osama bin Laden, China was in turn investing in Sudan's economy. Despite the US sanctions imposed at the time, China continued to pursue its interests in the war-torn country. Although Sudan still has control of an oil refinery and pipeline, it is in deep debt, distressed, struggling under the crushing weight of political instability and low crude oil prices. The country has an estimated debt of $6.5 billion. Although China has written off the country's debt incurred in 2015, it still has a long way to go. Number 4. The Republic of Congo, estimated debt of $7.5 billion. According to the Johns Hopkins China-Africa Research Initiative, Chinese entities gave the Republic of Congo 53 loans totaling $7.5 billion between 2000 and 2018. The majority of these loans were made to the power, transportation, and mining industries. However, on April 2019, the country and China's Import-Export Bank signed a complementary agreement on Congo's debt restructuring in Beijing. This agreement is part of Congo's negotiations with the IMF to finalize a program backed by an extended credit facility. To be sustainable, this program is organized around several axes, including public debt restructuring, and as a result, Congo will not repay China's interest-free loans, which were set to expire at the end of 2020. Number 3. Kenya, estimated debt $7.9 billion. Kenya owes China a debt of $7.9 billion, according to a leaked copy of the contract between Kenya and China for the construction of the Mombasa-Nairobi Standard Gauge Railway mega project. Kenya risks losing the Mombasa port to the Chinese government if the National Railway Corporation defaults on loan payments. Even after the discovery of oil in Kenya's northwestern region, nothing is being done to reduce the country's debt to China. China, on the other hand, agreed to a 6-month debt suspension with Kenya at the start of 2021. However, the suspension expired in June, putting additional pressure on the country to repay its debts. And according to Kenya's Controller of Budget, Margaret Nyakango, the government began payments for 2021 to 2022 with the first batch totaling $761 million to the Export-Import Bank of China. Number 2. Ethiopia, estimated debt of $13.5 billion. Ethiopia is the second largest recipient of Chinese loans in Africa after Angola. Although aspiring to become a major middle-income economy by 2025, with an estimated debt of $13.5 billion, Ethiopia is not progressing. This huge figure has been spent on transportation, infrastructure, health, and power plants projects. The debt levels have slowed down some projects due to repayment issues, and this has made the Ethiopian authorities to seek measures for debt relief. On January 14, 2021, Ethiopia's Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs met with Zhao Xinyuan, the Chinese ambassador to Ethiopia, and asked China to provide debt relief to some of Ethiopia's projects. And on the 29th of January 2021, Ethiopia announced its plans to restructure its debt under the G20 Common Framework. However, after much stalling, a creditors committee was formed on 16 September headed by France and China. Number 1. Angola, debt of over $20 billion. Angola is the most indebted African country to China. It has an estimated debt of over $20 billion. Shocking, but that's the reality. Despite the fact that Angola is Africa's second largest producer of oil, the majority of its oil is used to repay Chinese debts. With a population of about 34 million, it will surprise you to know that Angola is described as the world's richest poor country. This is due to the fact that despite having massive petroleum and diamond deposits, 52% of its population live in poverty. In recent years, Angola's biggest concern has been the country's rising external debt. In 2020, the Angolan government requested IMF access augmentation aid, the G20 debt service suspension initiative, and debt profiling options with major creditors due to its inability to pay its debts. That concludes the top 10 African countries with the highest Chinese debts. Please like, comment, and share the video with your friends if you enjoyed it.